All right, what's going on, Matrix? This is White Dragon, your CEO, Mike P, coming to you from the Matrix headquarters. We've got a good episode coming tonight. We have all three of us, PB the God, White Dragon, and Alpha Male for now to you with us. What's going on, guys? PB the God, Alpha, how y'all doing?
What's going on, man?
Alpha in the building. Definitely good look today. All three of us today.
It's going to be a nice show we got going on. A lot of different ideas getting ready to come up here, but let's go ahead and jump straight into it, you guys. Let's go ahead and go over the trades that we had happen this season. We've already met the trade deadline. We can't trade anymore until we get to the off season, but Sherrod, Pepe, are there any teams that you think really stood out as far as trading and getting their team in the right direction?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Let me start off. I got you right off the bat. Right off the bat. This guy right here, they call him Paper Trail. Paper Trail Panthers.
Paper Trail.
Paper Trail Panthers. When I tell you he made some very, very nice moves in the off season, in the trading season, pardon me, he made some nice moves. First of all, he got a backup linebacker, H. Reddick, 88 speed, 89 acceleration, 85 agility. While Luke just let loose and have it, he could use this fast linebacker. I like that move. That's one of a kind. Speaking of fast moves, he picked up Devin White from the Buccaneers. I don't know how he pulled that off. A 93 speed, 91 acceleration linebacker. He's cheating over there. We need to pit FCC on that guy.
Absolutely.
Devin White. Next move he made that I want to touch bases on, actually two before I pass it along. Murphy Bunting, cornerback from Buccaneers, rookie. I would not have ever done that move. Terrell, you are Donald Trump of trading. Buda Baker, safety, hard-hitting safety. We're going to touch more on Baker later. He's the reason why Terrell's leading one of these stats coming up later.
Definitely. Paper Trail, he really knocked it out.
Landon Collins, last but not least. Trail, he's the #1 trading guy in the Matrix League.
He definitely is. He made a lot of big moves, and not just those guys. He also quietly picked up Darius Geis. So he's he's been making a lot of moves. He's been making big moves, small moves. He's ready for the future. Peyton, is there anybody that you think that stood out as far as the team overall with their trades this season so far?
Yeah, there's three teams I got to give a shout out to. It's the Jets, the Buccaneers, and the Redskins. The Jets got picks for days. You probably can fill in any not the Bucks, my bad. The Jets. You probably have picks for days. You can pick and go get whatever you need at whatever position. I got the Buccaneers. They made some moves as well. Along with the Panthers, they had a couple back and forth picks. And also the Redskins. It seems like he went and got people he needed for every position. I mean, he's playing good ball right now on a good little win streak. So those are the three teams I definitely have to give a shout out to when it comes to trades.
Look, man, I appreciate the shout outs, but I'm not trying to hear shit about no Redskins right now. He just dropped me off. So JT the boss, go ahead and get out the league, man. I don't need you here no more. No, I'm just kidding, man. But yeah, I made a lot of trades, got me some draft picks, so I'm looking forward to this upcoming draft. There's a lot of nice studs in there. So yeah, pretty good trade season. Thank you guys for finally getting with the program and understanding we got to send the trades into the trade committee. And I have to give a special, for real, 100 shout out to all of our guys in the trade committee. That's Paper Trail with the Panthers. That's going to be DNail42 with the Colts. And then we have Fountain XOFX Fly with the Chiefs. Styles out there. They did a fantastic job, you guys. They got these trades in, approved them quick. If they needed to be reworked, they took care of it. And they've got a much-deserved vacation right now. So thank you to the trade committee. So
Thanks, trade committee. Thank you.
Definitely.
Sir, appreciate you, trade committee.
So now moving on into stats, we're going to focus on defense this week, but we're going to have Alpha go ahead and jump right into looking at overall team stats, breaking down the NFC and the AFC. So Sherrod, if you would, go ahead and take that away for us.
Okay, right off the bat, definitely I'm going to get into team stats. Defense. Let's start with defense, since that's what we emphasizing on this podcast today. So, defense, Cowboys, I see you. You have showed out this year. You've allowed the most minimum yards, 2,268 yards. Everyone else is higher than you for yards gained. So you're doing a great job on defense from that aspect. And of course, in passing yards, surprisingly, the Browns in my division in my conference,
Mm.
he has great passing defense. He's number one in the league. Um, Rushing yards, this boy is shutting down the run. The Jets, my co-host, the Jets, shutting down the run. Only 456 yards. And we almost, what, week 10, 11? This guy is playing some great defense. Points.
We got a little bit of run D out here in Gotham City, just a little bit.
I hear you. You got more than a little bit. Sonny with the Chargers, man. 146 points only. People
Wow.
are not scoring on Sonny. They not. Sacks. Alpha's in the building. Sacks. And then my apprentice, the Rams.
Ah.
61 sacks right behind me. You can't get these people to cold. Guess who's after? Oh, the Rams. Paper
Probably gonna be the
trail.
Panthers. Oh my God.
Paper trail. Oh my God. I can't with these guys. I'm leaving. Okay, fumbles. We got 14 with the Panthers. Reason being, he has those hard hitters. And interceptions, believe it or not, the Panthers.
Good defense.
No, pardon me, the Ravens. I take that back, Trail. I know he got excited. Ravens. Go ahead with offense.
All right. So, well, no, we're just gonna touch mainly on just those defensive stats. We're gonna jump in now to the individual defensive stats, you guys. So, moving on, over there in Dallas, Leighton Vander Esch is looking unstoppable. This guy has 65 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, 6 interceptions. Leighton Vander Esch is that dude. I really was shocked when he traded away Jalen Smith, but when he's able to play with Leighton Vander Esch like this, man, there's no stopping this guy. Vander Esch is looking ridiculous. So, moving on to
That guy's a dog.
He is a dog. So keeping it in the NFC, going down to Tampa Bay, we got Levante David. Tampa Bay shipped out Devin White. However, they're still doing their thing down there with Levante David. He's got 62 tackles. I want to say he's leading the entire league in tackles, but he's got 62 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions. He's looking really solid. He's all over the football field. Moving on to looking at some of these Panthers stats on defense, he has 3 guys on there. We got Devin White, who he acquired in the trade from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's got 61 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 15.5 sacks, you guys. This is ridiculous. I have no idea how to slow down Devin White, guys. He's got 90. What's his speed at, Sherrod? 93, 94?
93 speed. 93 speed. That is unfair.
That is ridiculous. That's faster than pretty much all of my defensive backs on my team. So, Latrell, good move. Buccaneers, I hope you can find a replacement for him. It's going to be very challenging. So, keeping it in the Panthers family, we've got Budda Baker. He's got 43 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 12 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. Budda Baker, Peyton, what do you think about this guy right here, man?
Yeah, man. There's no category. It seems like he's in every category with the balanced defense, man. It's like nobody's going deep on the Panthers at all. But if you do, I mean, it's a problem with Budda Baker back there.
Definitely. So the next man we got, Spider-Man Brian Burns. He's got 50 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 27.5 sacks. So obviously we've already got 2 or 3 guys that's already shattered the season-long sack record, and we're in week 11. So we're probably going to get up into some 40 and 50 sack individual performances. But Brian Burns also has an interception, 2 forced fumbles. And I want to say he broke the record for sacks in a game just this last week. I think he had 8 sacks in the game. So really, really hard to move the ball against this Panthers defense, especially having Budda Baker. You got Landon Collins, you got Brian Burns, and you got Devin White. He's set up for the future. He don't need draft picks.
I wanna make a quick shout out too. We got a new interceptions leader too, and that's Alpha Male for now too. You got 13 with Earl Thomas. He passed Budda Baker.
Oh man, 13 already. So we're looking like we've got some ball hawks.
Absolutely. Why you at it though? Why you at it? Number 4 on the interception list is Taker to North Trade. Guy out of nowhere, caught him in the grasslands. Asked him did he want a job. He said hell yeah. Came in the NFL and been dominating ever since.
Good look, good look. Well, keeping it up there, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy, Jermaine Grace, number 53. He is looking like a monster up there. I have no idea how young he is. I know he's in his 20s, but 58 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 27 and a half sacks, 1 interception, 2 fumble recoveries. Sherrod, this dude has been on every single podcast we've had so far.
Yes, indeed. Found him in the construction yard flipping rocks. This guy's an animal.
And now he's flipping quarterbacks.
Indeed,
Now he's
indeed.
making M's.
So, since you brought up our new interception leader, Earl Thomas, number 29, he's got 54 tackles, 13 interceptions, 1 sack, and 2 touchdowns. A lot of people said that Earl Thomas was old, that he wasn't going to be able to do shit when he went up there to Baltimore. He's showing out. All right, he's old, but he's still doing his thing. He's got good zone coverage. Sherrod, you are making it work with Earl Thomas up there, dude.
Pardon me. His name's Earl the Pearl. Get it right.
Oh, Earl the Pearl.
Baby.
Earl the Pearl. My bad on that one. I'm so sorry. No disrespect, Earl. My bad, bro. I don't want him coming at me. So, Sonny's doing a little bit of something out there with Joey Bosa. He's really shocking me. Joey Bosa has 38 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 21 and a half sacks, and a touchdown. Sonny has really put together a pretty good game. He's moving the ball on offense, running the ball well, playing efficient, and his defense has been fantastic. Like you said earlier, Sherrod, he had the least points allowed in the entire league. So Sonny's really turned it up a notch. He's got someone that's been coaching him the last year. He's been listening to him, and he's really doing a great job out there with these Chargers.
Yes, yes. Bosa's an animal, though. He has every trait possible. Swing move, spin move, bull rush, strip ball, high motor. What really stands out to me beyond anything is he has an 87 agility. So when he makes contact with that old lineman, even if he becomes off guard, with 81 speed, 87 agility, he could quickly regain his foot, take off to the quarterback as he's been doing.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. So he's pretty much got the agility of a linebacker or some corners out there, and he's coming off the edge.
Indeed.
So next, I want to give a shout out to Khalil Mack. The Bears has had a pretty rough season starting off. You can tell he's getting pretty acclimated to a 32-man league, but he's having no issue getting Khalil Mack to the backfield. Khalil Mack's got 57 tackles, 20 and a half sacks, 8 tackles for loss. Peyton, this is the NFC, man. Have you had to go up against this Khalil Mack yet?
Yeah, man, I just played him, man. I damn near lost the game because of this guy right here. He was getting the backfield, causing havoc, so I had to put in a little run game because I could not pass the ball against this guy.
Yeah, I bet that was a good defensive
Absolutely.
game having Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack go toe-to-toe.
Yes, sir.
Believe it or not, fun fact for people that don't know, Khalil Mack has the most traits of any player in Madden. Fun fact, the most traits. Balanced linebacker, play ball, big hitter, swim move, spin move, bull rush, strip ball, high motor. The most traits of any player, defensive player in Madden.
So it sounds like I need to offer him a 5th-round pick for Khalil Mack and see if I can get him to New York, right?
Rape,
All right, well, good luck.
felony.
Bruce, you're doing something out there with Khalil Mack. Keep it up, all right? Next, we've got a Titans player, and we recently got a new Titans user. The old one left the league, unfortunately. This new Titans guy, we didn't know much about him, but he's coming in. He came in right off the bat and beat Latrell. Paper Trail was running that mouth, talking about he was going to drag him, and Titans showed up. Titans put up 40-something points on that really good Carolina defense. Kevin Byard's leading the way as far as defense with Tennessee. He's got 41 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 9 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and a defensive touchdown. He's really looking good up there. This new user looks like he's going to be able to possibly take over that AFC South. It's going to be a good battle between him and the Texans.
Yes, yes. Kevin's a good dude. Good dude. He had a lapse in judgment talking about Tom Brady in the playoffs just last year. The GOAT showed him. He humbled himself, went to practice and training camp, and he's back this season dominating.
He definitely is. Definitely is. So Before we move on to awards, just real quick, I want to make sure we give a shout out to the Saints, the new Saints, and the new Titans. Thank you guys for coming in, and the new Lions as well. So the new Saints, Titans, Lions. You guys have come in, been really competitive. You're changing the landscape of your division. So thank you guys a lot for coming on in. But let's move on to awards. We're going to break down the awards for the season-long awards, AFC first, then NFC. So if you would, Alpha Male, if you would, go ahead and hit up the AFC awards for me.
Okay, first and foremost, Action Jackson, MVP, man. Hey, this guy right here, he's a problem. But the thing about it, though, he hasn't even started yet. He is working on his Tom Brady skills right now. Come next year, prime time, baby. We taking off. Runner up, Jay Grace, defensive player for the Ravens, of course.
God almighty.
Moving on to Offensive Player of the Year. Unfortunately, Action Jackson in the building again. Runner up, Marquise Brown, Hollywood, Offensive Player of the Year. Moving on to Defensive Player of the Year, Jermaine Grace, Ravens. Earl Thomas, Ravens. We have honorable mention, Jay Bosa with the Chargers. He's on my heels, definitely. The Texans, McKinney, he's a hard hitter. 89 hit power, I do believe. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Hollywood Brown. This guy's just a problem. He's an animal. Word to the wise. If you one-on-one Brown and you're not Deion Sanders out of retirement, I'm throwing the ball to Brown. Do not one-on-one Brown. Do not be stubborn. Hollywood Brown. Runner up, Miles Boykin. This guy's 6'4", runs a 4.2. Watch out. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Q Bell. This guy has excellent athletic numbers. I knew he was going to be a problem. Danny's over there making him a problem. Runner up for Defensive Player of the Year, Cashman. This is a linebacker, you guys, with a 90 speed. You have to be careful. He's coming for you. Lurk.
Cash money.
Definitely, cash money. Honorable mention to the Bengals, Pratt, Bengals, you got something over there. Play Pratt more often. You got something. Best quarterback, we got Action Jackson. Andrew Luck, unfortunately, he's leaving us. But in the meantime, Action Jackson taking over. Best running back, Derrick Henry with the Titans. New Titan user. You doing something over there. Keep it up. You leading in front of Le'Veon Bell and Zeke the Freak. Best wide receiver, Hollywood Brown. Surprisingly, though, I haven't heard these names in the books before. He's now in the books. R. Anderson with the Jets. This guy's tall, fast, good hands, agility. Watch out for Robbie Anderson. Boykin, third up. O-lineman, Yonder, the old man, 35 years old. Please stay another year. Hudson with the Raiders. Hudson, I believe he's the center. He's holding that offensive line. Defensive line, of course, no other than Joey Bosa. Runner up, Q Bell. J.J. Watt, Texans. He's a problem. Best linebacker, Jermaine Grace, out of the construction yard. T. Howard, I caught this guy in the trade. Trevor Howard, middle linebacker for the Ravens. Caught him in the trade. Shout out to Rams. DB to God. DB, Earl the Pearl leading the DB candidates. Kevin's number 2. He's right on my heels, though. Kevin just needed a good game or two. He's there. Best kicker, I'm mad about this one. This is Tucker all day. Unfortunately, it's not Adam Vinatieri. Colts, Neil,
okay.
42. You doing your thing. NFC, what you got for me?
All right, man. We're gonna start off with the Offensive Player of the Year, Gurley. Give it to him, and he can take it to the crib, Gurley. Runner up, you got Haskins, and then third, you got Galladay. Defensive Player of the Year, you got Brian Burns, then you got Samson Ibukam. Vander Esch is right there at number 3. We got Offensive Rookie of the Year, you got Dwayne Haskins. Redskins, keep doing your thing. Then you got Tony Pollard right behind him. Also with Kyler Murray at number 3. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Brian Burns. He also has Devin White behind him. Montez Sweat with the Redskins. Best QB, Dwayne Haskins. Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz right behind him, though. Best running back, you got Ty Gurley. Take it to the crib every time you give it to him. Also got Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey at 2 and 3. Best wide receiver, you got Kenny Galladay, Curtis Samuel, and Julio Jones. Lions keep doing your thing with Galladay. Best O-line, you got Zach Martin, Andrew Whitworth. He's almost 40. I need him to stay another year. And Tyron Smith at 3. Best D-line, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, Aaron Donald, and Cameron Jordan, top 3. Best linebacker, Brian Burns, Sesame
Brian
Brooklyn,
Burns.
Khalil Mack. Yeah, that Brian Burns, man, he's in every defensive category
Yeah, he
almost.
is.
He's leading the league. Best defensive back, you got Budda Baker, Byron Jones, and Eric Berry. Best kicker, Dan Bailey, Robbie Gold, and you got Greg Zerline.
You know, the
So
biggest
that's it
thing,
for that.
the biggest thing these awards said to me, it looked like the NFC was pretty balanced. Looks like we got some competition, but let me tell you guys, y'all are letting the Baltimore Ravens run away with some of these records. Y'all got to start doing something. If you see that you're 1-9, you're 2-8, feed one of your players. Get some stats for you guys. Get that XP. Don't let this guy get a clean sweep on the awards, all right? This guy right here is my boy, but don't let him walk away with all these trophies, all right? Let's keep it on moving. Let's go on to scouting. So last week we started the scouting segment. A lot of good players come out of college. We're going to go ahead and jump straight in where we left off. We left off at number 5 last week. We're moving into number 6. Matthew Edwards, middle linebacker out of South Carolina. He's 6'3", 246, and he's only 21 years old, you guys. His hit power, A- through the roof. If he's hitting you, you're dropping that ball. Tackle, A-. He's wrapping you up. You're going to the ground. Block shedding, B+. You can blitz this guy. He can get off the block. He can do everything. This guy is going to be an early first-round pick. If you don't got a top 10 pick, don't even look at him. Look somewhere else. So far in college with the Gamecocks, he's got 32 tackles, 6 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 defensive touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. You guys, Matt Edwards is really taking over college football as far as the middle linebacker position. So, moving on.
That guy's going to be a problem. I see him fitting in with White, Sweat, and Cash Money Cashman.
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to seeing his combine report once we get out to the offseason. So, moving on to number 7, we've got an outside linebacker, Melvin Beckett, 6'1". He's 240 pounds. He's also young, 22 years old, out of Oregon. Really, really good skills. He's got A- tackle, B+ block shedding, and a B pursuit. He's also going to be a first-round pick. He doesn't look quite as good as Matthew Edwards, but he still looks like he's going to be a dog. He's got 28 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 safety. This is one of those linebackers. He's all over the field, side to side, making tackles. But I do think that Edwards has the edge on him. Moving on, we've got a guy coming off the edge, Devontae Long, out of Arizona State University. He's ranked number 8 right now in the draft. He's a run stopper. He's got A- hit power, B+ tackle, B+ awareness. He's also a first-round pick. This guy is looking ridiculous. He reminds me of like a DeMarcus Lawrence, maybe even like an Aaron Donald. He's a big boy, 9 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 20 tackles, 4 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Kind of odd to see 4 forced fumbles out of a defensive end, but this guy's laying the lumber. He's hitting you. He could be on your team, get you a top 10 pick, get him on board. Moving on to number 9 in scouting, we've got Dexter Winslow. He's 6'1", 254 pounds, 21 years old, really, really young. These 21-year-old guys, you got to get them because they're going to be good for 10 years, 12 years. Out of Tennessee, he's a speed rusher. He's got B+ tackle, B+ finesse moves, B+ awareness, also an early first-round talent. Dexter Winslow is looking really good in college, man. He's got 8 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 15 tackles. He doesn't have as many tackles as some of the other guys and some of the big hits, but he's more of a specialist, I would say. He's a good 4-3 guy coming off the edge, bringing that speed. So let's see how he looks in the combine when it comes out. And lastly, we got to go over Kadeem Brown. He's number 10. This guy's out of San Diego State. He looks absolutely ridiculous on paper. He's 6'2", a $197, 22 years old, A- short route, A- catching, B+ release. He's going to be a first-round pick. So far in college, he's got 39 catches, 835 yards, and 11 touchdowns. He's kind of slim, doesn't have a lot of meat on him, but he's tall, he's 6'2", he's agile. This guy's going to be a problem. Think of somebody like a Robbie Anderson, maybe somebody like a Juju. He's going to be pretty solid. If you guys need a wide receiver, you might want to trade up into the top 10. go look after Kadeem Brown. Moving on from scouting, we're going to do our last piece, which is our divisions. And I'm going to get Sherrod, if you would, go ahead and break down the AFC North for us. What you got going on there? What's everybody's record up there?
All right, so AFC, we got some competitors over here. We're going to start with the AFC North. First and foremost, we got the Ravens, 10-0, Chargers 8-2, Jets 7-3. I actually just went over the whole AFC. Pardon me.
It's all right. It's all good. AFC North, sir.
Right.
AFC North,
AFC
dumbass.
North. Ravens 10-0, Browns 5-4, Bengals 2-8, Steelers 2-7. AFC South, we got Texans 7-3, Titans 7-3, Jaguars 3-7, Colts 4-6. Jaguars making some quiet moves, Colts figuring it out. AFC East, we got the Jets 7-3, Dolphins 2-7, Patriots 2-7, Bills 2-7. AFC West, Chargers 8-2, Raiders 8-2. They neck and neck competing. Chiefs 5-5. Get it together, Fox. Broncos, don't know what that guy Polo's doing. 2-8.
Yeah,
Pass it on to NFC.
So before we go to the NFC, there's a few that I really want to touch on. Up there in your division, you've already got a nice little 5-game lead. Browns, you got to put something together. I know you had a sim here recently, but see if you can put something together and catch this guy or get the wild card. Bengals, Steelers, please, I hope you guys are at least learning what not to do, because next season I want to see some more wins, you guys, up in the AFC North. In the AFC South, this thing really turned into a two-team show as of late. I thought the Texans were going to run away with it, but you got the Texans and the new user with the Titans. The Jags and the Colts, it looks like they're trying to claw back in there. They're up to 3-6. Probably can't make a push this year. It's a little bit too late, but get ready for that draft. You guys need to make a better move next year. The AFC East, yes, I've already got a nice little 5-game lead. I've got a cushion. Luckily, these other 3 teams are in rebuild mode. Probably going to be a totally different story next year, but I'm enjoying this success this year, so hopefully this won't be the only year I get the division, but looking like I can run away with that. In the AFC West, I'm really, really impressed with what Sonny's done up there, 8-2, putting up with Danny. They had a really good division battle this last week. I want to say it was like 52-38, high-scoring game. Danny just put the 2-touchdown lead on him late in the 4th, so we've got a nice battle going on out there. The Chiefs sitting at 500. There's so much talent on that team. He's been really busy lately. I know he's been handling some stuff, but hopefully next season he can put together a nice little challenge for these other 2 guys. And Broncos, you made a lot of moves. Don't be into my basket of bums, bro. You got to get better, man. Get into the lab. Stop just playing your games. You got to get in that practice mode, build something, learn the game, and I know you got the team. You can do it, man. So come on, let's do it. Down in the NFC South, we did have a little hiccup this last week. The Saints, they're going to get a forced win against the Falcons later on in the year. So the team overalls are a little bit off right now, but the Bucks and the Panthers, they are really starting to pull away a little bit as of late. The Falcons, they've kind of been sliding back, but this new Saints guy, I think he might be able to keep the pace up. He definitely can probably put on a good second half run here, but I do know the Panthers are set up for the future. And the NFC North, you got the Bears at 2-8, you got the Packers at 2-8, you got the Vikings at 4-7, and you have the Lions at 6-4. This was my biggest bag of bums trash division in the league, but thankfully, the new Lions user has upgraded this to just a bunch of bums instead of a bag of bums. So luckily, Lions is playing some ball. He's beating some heavy hitters. Looks like Clarence down there with the Vikings is finally getting it together. He had a nice little early push. He fell off for a few weeks, but he just picked up a win here recently. Packers, Bears, you've got good teams. Stop letting them be trash. Get into the lab. I know you can do better. In the NFC East, this has got to be the toughest division that we have in our league. Up there with the 8-2 Cowboys, they are absolutely phenomenal. The Giants, they're 6-4. They could have easily been 7-3. JT the boss just dropped me off. He's 8-2. And then Marquise, he keeps hovering right around that 500 spot, but he's really within striking distance in this division. Really, this division is still up for grabs if you look at it. If the Cowboys were to take a tough slide here, any of these other 3 teams could move in. So Marquise has got a lot of division games coming up soon. Maybe he can pull it up. But the Giants and the Redskins are hot on the tail of the Cowboys. Out in the West, looking like a two-team show. You got the Rams, you got the Seahawks, Cardinals. We know he's playing possum. We know he's running that ball with Murray. But at some point, you got to not run with Murray. You got to start passing. You got to run with somebody else. People are going to start dialing in. I want to see you be productive next year. Got to start mixing it up if you want to be productive, man. Theo down there with the 49ers, he's lost a couple of tough ones. I want to see him get it going next year. He's got a young team. Bring it back. Make your division proud. Sherrod, give me two teams real quick. One team AFC, one team NFC. The biggest surprises so far for you.
Okay. NFC, the biggest surprises for me is the Cowboys. He traded off some good players, not knowing he still had a scheme and a formula to maintain competitiveness. 8-2. AFC, surprisingly, believe it or not, I am going to go with my co-commissioner, Danny Boy. I didn't know Danny Boy had it in him. I did not know that. Danny Boy is showing out over there. He has a great record.
Absolutely.
He's leading the league in some statistics. He's doing a hell of a job over there. 8-2. He's neck and neck with Sonny, but they're going to battle it out.
And, he's been really quiet, too. He's not talking a lot of trash in the chat. He's a real humble guy. He's my type of player. But unfortunately, he's got a cruise coming up here soon. So he's probably going to be a force win for somebody towards the end of the season. I hate to see that, but I know he'll be ready for the draft and he'll be back. So really, that AFC could be up for grabs, especially the AFC West if he's going out of town here soon. But
absolutely, Fox, you hear that? Time for you to tighten up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you guys, I know we've had a few little questions about things that's happened in the league recently. I just want to go over the cap penalties. So we did clear everybody's cap penalty at the end of preseason. So after you made your initial cuts, trimmed your rosters down to 53 people, we did give everyone a courtesy cap clear after the Week 4 preseason. We're also performing another courtesy cap clear at the end of this year. So the way we look at it is we don't think you should be penalized for any dumbass contracts that the NFL has given to some of these players, guys like Kirk Cousins, other big contracts out there. That's not your fault. Cut them, trade them, do what you got to do, and then as soon as we get to the off season, we are going to clear cap penalties. So everybody will be at zero cap penalty for this year and for the start of 2020. After we get beyond the first couple of stages of the off season, whatever trades you do, whatever contracts you sign, that's all on you. If you're a bad GM, you're going to have bad cap penalties. So this is the last free one you have coming up. Make sure you start paying attention to the contracts you give out. From that point on, you can still get your cap penalties cleared through rewards. We addressed that. Let me see if I've got a slide for it. And no, I do not.
I'm back, fellas.
How you doing, Pepe? What's up, dude? He had to step away for a minute. Sorry, guys. But
Got to deal with something.
I'll make sure that I post that in the chat as soon as we get done with the podcast. But if you play all your games, no forced losses, no unscheduled sims, at the end of that season, we will clear your cap penalties for you, or you can take a player trade upgrade. And when we say trade upgrade, can you explain that a little bit further detail, Sherrod, what we mean by the trade upgrade?
Okay, so trade upgrade, we were referring to strip ball, big hitter, aggressive ball play tendency, things of that nature. We're not talking about a development trait, meaning from normal to star, or normal to superstar, or star to superstar. No development traits, but player traits, swing move, spin move, things of that nature.
Thank you, definitely. So to go along with that, play all your games. You get the choice. Either we will clear your cap penalties at the end of that year, or you get one player trade upgrade for one player. So it's up to you. Use it wisely. This is a way to encourage people to play your games, and we're not breaking the game. I've seen some leagues out there, if you play all your games, they give you, 10 points, and you can add it to speed or hit power, throw power, or you can take a player from star to superstar. It breaks the game and it ruins it. Versus cap penalties, you're just kind of helping yourself with some of those bad contracts, stuff like that. I don't think it breaks the game. It's not going to make you play the game better. And the same thing with the development traits. I'm sorry, not the development traits, the actual traits. There's no way to boost those anymore. Back on Madden 18, you could. You could use your XP and do that. So this is a way to kind of help mold your player a little bit better. So
Right,
disconnect.
right. Because you can't purchase XP. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't purchase traits with XP. So this is definitely a good way.
Correct, correct. You guys, look, all the rules are in the calendar section of the chat. We've posted them in the chat. A lot of people, I sent them to you directly before you joined the league way back in the summertime. A lot of the new guys, I've given you pictures of it. If you have disconnects or replays, don't get upset. We have rules in place. Everything has a rule. Everything has a consequence. Make sure you're following the protocol for any disconnects or replays. Gameplay rules. I keep getting a lot of questions. Do we have a fourth down rule? Am I allowed to call this blitz 2 times in a row? Am I allowed to throw the ball out of bounds if I want to? You can pretty much do whatever you want. We don't have a lot of gameplay rules. The biggest ones, you got to rush 3 players at all times, and you can't call no huddle more than twice in a row. So that's pretty much it. And then no chew clock in situations that aren't reasonable. If you're using the chew clock feature in the first quarter, that's absolutely ridiculous. So our gameplay rules are very reasonable. If you don't know how to
About
stop,
them Rams.
how about them Rams? If you absolutely don't know how to stop something, hey, that's on you. This last week I played JT the Redskins. He had 4 one-play bomb touchdowns against me. I didn't cry about it. It was my fault. I didn't make the proper adjustments, and he beat me. So if you guys see that someone's beating you with one play or one blitz or one coverage, it's on you for being the dummy. I was the dummy this last week. Somebody's going to be the dummy every day. Learn from it. Get into the lab. Trades, we've already went through this. The trades are all pretty much done for now. However, we do have a trade committee. They have 24 hours to vote on a trade. A lot of y'all were rushing these trade committee guys saying, hey, man, I need my trade. I need a verdict on it. I have no idea why you're rushing it. Sherrod, I don't know why they would rush these trades, because if we don't get a decision back to you in 24 hours, it's approved by default. I'm not going to sit there and wrap myself out. Let it go, let it ride. If I don't hear something, my trade's approved.
Right, right. So do not rush if you want to gain that advantage by automatic approval or what. Now we have a fine system here. Fine system. Let it work. We appreciate you guys for working with us as well.
Definitely. I've also had a few questions. Let me back up here to the trade thing. At the very bottom, people are asking about, if we're getting our trades that are specifically going through, if we're in the trade committee. We do have a clause in here. If there's any person that's in the trade committee involved in a trade, they can't vote on their own trade. That's why we have alternates. So we have a total of 5 people in the trade committee. There's 3 originals, 2 alternates, so no one's ever going to vote on their own trade. So you don't have to worry about stuff like that. The position
Right,
changes.
right.
I've not
One
seen
more
it.
thing too on
Yeah,
the
go ahead. Go ahead.
trades too. One more thing on the trades too. We had a couple of guys mention, what about trading? Excuse me. What about trading during the draft? Well, we are working on modifying the plan about trading during the draft. So stand by for that news. We'll definitely be in touch with the league. Stand by for that news.
Definitely, and I was actually going to touch on that a little bit later on, but that is one thing that I'm pretty loose on. The way I look at it is, if you're trading just draft picks during the draft, I don't think that you need to get it approved. However, we need to clear this with all the other commissioners and stuff like that, but there's no way we're going to have time to vote on trades during the draft.
Right. So stand by for that news, and we'll have all the specifics out sooner or later.
And then position changes. I've not seen a lot of crazy position changes in the league. We've had a couple we've had to hop on people for, but we have it outlined right here. It's pretty simple. If it's green, like the permitted changes at the top, then you are allowed to do that. If it's in red, do not attempt any of those position changes. If it's in yellow down at the bottom, linebacker to DN, DN to linebacker, you can make those moves, but you have to get approval from your commissioner. If you want to move a linebacker to defensive end or defensive end to linebacker, you got to make sure that they meet the speed, acceleration, and agility threshold. So we're not going to let you go draft this linebacker that's got 96 speed by some crazy chance and put him at defensive end. If there's another defensive end that has that speed, we'll let you, but there's no other defensive end that has that speed. So make sure you're paying attention to this. There should be no reason to ask, can I move a fullback to wide receiver? The answer is right here. So a lot of times you guys might think that, I'm being short with you guys, or one of the commissioners is. We're trying to encourage you guys to read for yourselves, make decisions on your own. That way you can use the rules to your advantage. So please read everything. We've got everything outlined really simply, really easy. It's all separated. And that's pretty much it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Matrix Madden. Check us out on YouTube at Matrix Madden or White Dragon 1987. All these videos are going to be on my channel right now, White Dragon 1987. I'm working on getting everything streamlined, so hopefully in like a year or two we'll be over to the Matrix Madden page. We have an email if you guys want to send any video clips in, stuff like that. It's going to be matrixmaddenleague@gmail.com. That's a typo. There's 2 D's in Madden. I know that. So, Sherrod, anything you've got? You want to close this thing out for me?
No, I just want to say I appreciate you players for playing, doing your thing. We're playing well. We're getting our games in. We are not having a lot of non-games not being played, so keep that up. Keep that up. Cowboys, Chargers, Jets, Texans, Rams, Raiders, you guys are on my tail, and I look forward to battling with you guys. Enter the Matrix. Thanks for being involved with us today.
See you next week. Can't wait.
Take it easy.